Hi, and welcome back. Here we're going to take a look at the basic formatting numbers and dates and colors. Let's start with a very simple table. As you know, I use Superstore data whenever I can because that's the same data set that you got with your copy of Tableau, and you can reproduce everything that we're looking at here. I've just got a simple text table, and we're going to take a look at three measures. We're going to take a look at profit, sales, and profit ratio, and they come directly off the data tab here. I've got it broken down by category and year of order date. Now, when we look at the actual data, it's fine, it's there, but it's not in a format that we really want to see. For example, here the profit ratios are all zero, and that doesn't make any sense. That's just profit divided by sales. The profit ratio should be a finite value. Well, we need to change the format of that number. We can come down here to profit ratio and open up the dropdown, and we can see the default property and number format. Now we're going to open up the number format, and you can see it's been set to automatic. Well, automatic is obviously not what we want. I want to set it to a custom number and 2 decimal points. We could also take a look at a percent, but let's just stick with custom number at 2 decimal points and open it up. And when we say yes, sure enough, we get the totals that we're looking for. It would be that number divided by that, and so on. Now, if we take a look at profit and sales, I'd like to see each of those in terms of thousands. I don't really want to see the detail down to the actual unit level, but let's see it in terms of thousand. Now, one way of formatting those, changing the format on those, is to highlight sales and profit. And all I'm doing is holding down the control key, and I highlight both of these. And then just as before, I can open up the default property, the number format here, and I can go to custom, and I have different options available. I want no decimal points. And I want display units, and I have a choice in terms of thousands, millions, billions, or jillions. And I'm going to take thousands, and I'm going to continue to include the thousands separator, although we're not going to see it there, but I'm going to continue to include it. And okay. Now, very simply, that's how you can reformat numbers, and the only way you're really going to learn it is by doing that, by using a lot of practice. Let's take a look at formatting dates. And formatting dates is very simply done also. I've got the order date here, and I can open up the order date, and I've got 2 different copies of the order date. This one, we're going to change the default format for the order date. We've gone to order date, default properties, and date format. And when we open that up, we get a list that probably looks fairly familiar to you. You've seen this sort of list in spreadsheet calculators before. And I have chosen that I want to see in numbers the month, the date, and the year. We're going to take a look at a couple examples here, but you can see what the examples are. You can look by the printed month or the month and the date, and so on. And when we take a look at the month and the date and the year, I plotted this out as the discrete month, the blue pill for month. I get the first date of every month. Okay. I could also come back in and I could take a look at this order date, and this order date is, hang on, there it is. And I've just made a copy of that order date. And I want to take a look at how I formatted that and the default properties, and the date format for that is month written out in its entirety, date and year. So I get January 1st, April 1st. And if we were to look at these on as axes, I could put these in. I could take the month, day, and year axes, and I could put it in as a continuous state. And the axis would print out with the month, the day, and the year. The month, the day, and the year as the label on the axis. I could also use my other format. Same sequence. I'm using the month of the month of the date, but I'm using the default format as the month all printed out, month, day, year, month, day, year. and so on and so forth. So you can change the format of the date, of the default date, and you can make it appear on axes, or you can make it appear in charts, text tables, if you will. Let's take a look at formatting colors, just the basics again. I've got a very simple chart here. I've just got the category on row. I'm just put down sum of sales, and I'm going to color the bar based on the category. Now we can open up color, and we've got a number of different options. We can edit the color. Now we're using discrete colors here. Okay, and the default or the automatic palette, I'm going to open this drop down. Automatically, it's going to go to Tableau colors, but we've got a wide variety of colors to choose from. And I'm going to caution you, and the default tablet isn't really colorblind friendly. So if you know you've got someone who's colorblind, or you're going to be sharing this with people who may be colorblind, there's a palette here for color blindness. You could choose that palette, or you can choose any of these other palettes that you might want to use. Well, to change the colors, we can just go in and we can change the color. We're going to use the colorblind palette. Now, to apply the colors to the actual bars, we have to assign the palette. That's what this value does. We've assigned the values, and I'm going to apply it so that you can see them change here. And you can see that the colors have changed. Well, let's say we've come in here in technology, and I really don't want to see technology gray. If I want to change it, I can select that value, and I can change it to a different color just by clicking here. Okay. And we can apply that again, and you can see that the color has changed. So I can change any of these values. Or if I really want to put in my own color, I've got my own special color that I want to put in. You can double click any one of these items, and it opens up another window where we can go to the detail color, and we can select the color directly from colors that are available, or we can adjust that color to what we want, or we can pick a color off the screen. One more example of using colors. Let's take a look at a map of the US. And all I've got is a map of the US, and on here I have applied profit to the color palette. And each state now is colored based on the scale from minus 26,000 to a plus 76,000, which is the total profit in those states. I can open up the color tile. We can look at the color. We can edit those colors. And we're using a continuous palette here. And we can open up the continuous palettes, and you'll see that these palettes are diverging palettes. They're different than the discrete palettes we just looked at. And you can pick any palette that you would choose. I would caution you to avoid red-green, because red-green color blindness is the most common color blindness, particularly with males, but it's the most common color blindness. I like to use the orange-blue divergent. So we take orange and blue divergent. It might look something like this. When it first comes up, it's going to look like this, and I'm just going to hit the apply button so you can see what it looks like. Usually, a hot color is associated with a higher value, and a cool color is associated with a lower value. So we can reverse the palette by clicking in the box here and applying that. And now we reverse the palette. And if I wanted to convert this from a continuous palette to a discrete palette, I could dial in the number of steps that I want to see. Right now, there's 5 steps. I could dial that down to 3 steps, and you can see what those steps are going to look like. And I'm going to apply that. And all of a sudden, my palettes change. And I'm going to put that back at 5 because I do like the 5 better. Okay. Okay. That's what I wanted to share with you today.